You're looking to purchase a rental property in northern New Jersey and you keep running into a brick wall where nothing makes sense at all. Well, guess what? There's a reason behind that. I'm going to be breaking it down in today's video. I'm going to be going over 7 reasons why you're never going to buy a rental property. Now, look, you're going to want to stick around to the end on this one because every single one of these little examples I'm going to be giving out, they all pertain to that person sitting on the sidelines right now. So you're definitely going to want to listen to them all. So you're not that one that's living in your parents' basement for the rest of your life, or maybe paying rent to another landlord for the rest of your life. Or how about this one? I don't want to see you be that person that is a slave to their job. What do I mean by that? It means you have to work 40 hours a week every single week in order to pay the mortgage to that single family house. I want to see you reaching your financial goals. And that's why I have a channel like this. My name is Shawn McEnteer. I'm the house hacking realtor of northern New Jersey. And I make videos like this so you can be on the fast track to your real estate goals. That being said, just click subscribe and hit the bell so you don't miss a beat on future videos when they come out, because that's going to be huge, especially if you miss one on like how to write awesome leases, or maybe miss one on midterm rentals. I want to stick around to the end big time because I have a huge announcement. We're going to call it a huge announcement coming later on in the video that you're going to want to listen to, because it's going to make you even more money, especially if you're into midterm rentals. Okay. Plain and simple, running the numbers. I see people that are just running the numbers in a really, really bad way, we'll say. That just things don't make sense. I kid you not, I had a client that came to me and I looked at the payment that he was going to pay and it was substantially higher. And I was like, why is your payment so high every month? He's like, well, I put the taxes at double of what I think they or what they are right now because the town might reassess in the future. And I'm like, you doubled the taxes in 1 year. I mean, you'll be lucky to double the taxes in the lifetime of a loan. What do you mean you're doubling in 1 year? He's like, yeah, well, I want to be safe. All right, well, you're never going to buy a property if you're doubling the taxes when you're running the numbers, okay? Yeah, things like that are a little extreme. So we run into a lot of times where people are running the numbers incorrectly, and that's why I have videos like this, because I don't want to see you making those mistakes. A huge one I love to do is low vacancies. There's hacks behind that. Another one is property management. There's absolute hacks behind that as well. So I can teach all that stuff in videos, and that's where it's as easy as click and subscribe, because you don't want to miss out on those future videos when they come out. Something else that I'm seeing here a lot is that people are looking at this in a very ABC type matter. What I mean by that is they're only looking at rental properties, long-term rental. There's a lot of different options out there. I mentioned MTR earlier. Don't worry, I'm going to be name dropping something huge here. I'm going to be having a major announcement a little bit regarding MTR, but you want to make sure that you are looking at things differently, not just traditional long-term rental. There's college rental, there's short-term rental, there's midterm rental. There's different options available that are going to allow you to get rents higher. And that's like huge. If you're going to run properties and you're looking to buy a property and, the numbers don't make sense, but let's say you can add $1,000 a month to one unit just by switching the strategy. Wouldn't you want to learn a little bit more about that? All right. Yeah, I would. All right, moving along here, number 3, you're focused so much on the rates and you're focused so much on the high prices. Rates, high prices, by all means, we all want them to be lower. But, what do you think happens when the rates go down? The rates go down, all of a sudden the price is going to skyrocket even more. And a good example I always like to say is when your parents or maybe someone else that bought a property, let's say 40, 50, maybe 60 years ago, were they expecting that the property be the price it is today? For example, my parents bought their house for $200,000. Now it's worth over $800,000. Property goes up. So when we're looking at this and you say, we're buying a home for $800,000 today, is it out of the question for it to be $1 million, maybe $2 million in 30, 40, 50 years from now? It's not out of the question at all. And we see it happening all the time. So don't get fixated on the price of homes. Don't get fixated on the rates. These things go up, they go down. And something that I know that consistently goes up that I love about real estate, especially in northern New Jersey, rents. Rents consistently go up. So if it's not looking so good today, you as the landlord are going to be able to raise rents. And the rents don't, I know you're thinking in your head, so do taxes. Guess what? Rents go up a lot more than taxes, okay? So you as the landlord get to control all that. Don't focus on the rate today, the purchase price, as much as you think. You want to be smart when you're buying. That's why you work with an expert that knows how to do this and navigate these situations. I hope you know an expert out there. If you don't, you might want to shoot me a text, okay? But this is where you don't want to focus on, because if you're looking only at the rate and the purchase price, it might be tough, all right? But don't worry. I got a lot more examples I'm going to be going through in this video that are going to get you over the hump. So let's go on to the next one. Here's a big one. You think single family has a real shot. Okay, now look, it's not impossible to buy a single family house, but I will let you know, if you're going to do a single family and keep it as a long-term traditional rental, you are never going to buy a property, okay? It is not going to happen. It's very, very, very unlikely. Now look, you can do single family, maybe do like a rent by the room strategy, or maybe you really are living in the basement in these places. I have a client right now that we're selling a property with that he's living for free for the past 2 years, and now he got transferred with work, so he wants to sell the place and move to his next job, but he's been living for free, and it was in a single family house, but that's because he was doing a creative rental strategy, rent by room. He was not doing the traditional long-term rental. So if you're looking at thinking single family is the best way to go, you might want to rethink that, or get very, very, very creative with your strategy. Really quick, why don't you comment below what strategy that you're most interested in? Maybe short-term rental, mid-term rental, rent by room. Happy to dive deeper with that, but why don't you drop a comment below? Okay, moving along here, and this is one I run into too with clients, is that they only want new homes. I mean, look, this is one of the oldest regions in the United States. We're right outside of New York City. New York City has been around for hundreds of years. So has northern New Jersey. A lot of the building took place in the early 1900s to the mid 1900s. The chances of finding homes that are, let's say, 1980s and newer, they're not actually common in northern New Jersey. So if you're going to limit yourself to homes of that standard, maybe 1970s or more, you might be on the sidelines for a very, very long time. I'll let you know. I put my money where my mouth is, and I will be later when I have that huge announcement, by the way. So stay tuned for that. But I put my money where my mouth is, and I have a 1900 home. It is great. It's in wonderful condition. That's why we do home inspections. That's why you go through all this stuff. I have a 1940s property. Great, wonderful condition. I have a 1970s property. Believe it or not, the most problems I've had came from the 1970s property, okay? So you can't sit back and say, oh, I'm only going to buy new construction, or I'm only going to buy newer homes, because you'll be waiting for a while, and it's not always the grass is greener on the other side just because it's a newer home. Moving on to the next one here, and I kind of forget where I'm at right now. This is number 4, number 5. I don't know. Drop a comment below. Let me know where I'm at. I'm not even sure, but I think around number 5 right now. But let's say you expect perfection. If you're going to expect perfection, it does not exist. No matter what you're looking to do in life, I don't even think this has to be regarding house hacking or multifamily. Stop aiming for perfection. Just aim for getting better. A good example is maybe you want to make sure that every single thing is right when you do the inspection in a home. It's very rare. I mean, I actually see new construction projects that will come out and there's flaws in it. So you can never expect perfection. You got to make sure that things are relatively well or to your standards or to your comfort level. But if you want it to be perfect, you will be in this for a long time. And the worst thing here is you might actually find that property that makes a lot of sense, that's going to make you a lot of money. But because your standards are perfection, you never close on the deal and you kill the deal during the inspection phase or something silly like that, because you're constantly fighting for the best of the best of the best. You can make the best, you can get there, but it doesn't have to start by starting as the best. It doesn't have to be number 1 from the start. You bring the property to number 1, increasing the value, fixes, renovations, all that kind of stuff. Oh man, this one's huge. Oh my goodness. Once again, this is a real life mistake. As you see, I always offer real life situations. I lived through this stuff, but working with that family friend realtor. And now look, maybe you have a family friend realtor that's been house hacking, that's been multifamily investing. That's cool. So I'm not dissing on that person, but so frequently people come to me and they're like, hey, I'm working with my family friend realtor. And I'm just like, well, how many properties did you buy with that person? Or how many house hacks have you done? I'm like, I don't even know what the term is. And I'm like, so you're taking advice from that individual? It's like, whoa, what's going on here? I mean, for example, the very first property my wife and I purchased, we bought the single family home because that's what the dude was telling us. He's like, yeah, this is great. And long story short, found out he never invested himself. I don't even think he owned a property. And that's who I was taking advice from, a family friend realtor. So, something I always say is don't take advice from someone you don't want to trade places with. So if the person is doing what you want to do, they're financially free, they're living on their terms, that might be someone you want to be around, opposed to someone that's maybe guessing, like, do we go that way? Do we go this way? Oh, live in one unit, rent out the next. Yeah, that's a really, really good strategy. No, it's not. Okay? And I don't want to see you making that mistake. All right? I want to see you on the fast track to financial freedom, working with people that have done this before, so you're not guessing. Once again, that's why I have a YouTube channel like this, so you can take the guesswork out of it. So once again, I'm really, really trying to push on this one. Yeah, you're going to want to hit subscribe. Can you see that there? Okay, yeah, click subscribe. All right, yeah, hit the bell. All right, before I get to that huge announcement I'm going to be making, let's go to the very last one here, and that is family members. You want to be careful. You want to be really careful. And you see this a lot where, the parents want to make sure you're safe. But kind of going back on the previous one here, you got to take advice from someone that's done this before. Now, look, if your parents have house hacked, they live in multifamilies, they've done all this stuff, that might be a good person to talk to. But 9 times out of 10, most parents have never purchased a multifamily, yet they're giving their advice on how to do it. Or maybe last time they bought a home was 40 years ago, and here they are. Well, when I bought a home, yeah, things have changed. They really have. So you want to be careful. You don't want to be sitting on the sidelines forever because, your parents don't think that this is the right property. You got to trust the process and work with people that have done this before. Don't take advice from someone you don't want to trade places with. I guess you could say that for this one also. If you want to be a house hacker, you want to be a multifamily investor, you need to be around the people that are doing it and take advice from those people. That's why you go to things like a doctor. Do you go to the dentist if your foot's hurting? Absolutely not. So you got to go to the right people, the people that are doing what you want to do. Take advice from them because they're going to be the ones that can at least have real life examples and the guidance that we walk you through all this stuff. All right, so be careful who you're taking advice from. That's a huge, huge point. But hey, look, I said I had a huge announcement. This is what I'm waiting on the end for here. Now, I am actually in the process of converting one of our properties into a midterm rental. I've got clients that are killing it. I've got multiple clients that are killing it, and now we're finally in a position where I've got one of my tenants moving out. Really good tenant. Sad that he's leaving, but really excited because we're going to be increasing the rents over $1,000 on this property alone. All we have to do is furnish it, and what's really cool is we're actually going through the entire process on this YouTube channel. Okay, so you're going to be seeing future videos on it. So if you want to know exactly what to expect with the midterm rental strategies, you want to know exactly how you can raise rents thousands of dollars on your property, you're going to want to watch out. You're going to want to hit the bell for sure so you stay up to date on future videos when they come out. But this is so crucial because it's going to be another level of learning real estate investing. I'm going to be documenting the entire journey. So that is the huge announcement that I have. Now, I hope this video made sense for you, these reasons. And if you are sitting on the sidelines, you can always reach out to me, 973-221-9131. That's my direct number. Text me, house hacking. It's always better if you text, but you can call me as well. And I'm always love hopping on a call, doing a one-on-one, learning more about you, and getting you to your financial goals. I'll see you in the next video. You're probably just going to want to click this video right here. I mean, does it not make sense? I mean, right here. Yeah. Isn't that? Yeah. Click it. All right. Watch it. Enjoy it.